Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I wanted to introduce my 2023 Pan That palette, where I'm going to be attempting to pan a whole eyeshadow palette this year. So before we get into that, if you don't know me, hi, hello, my name is Alex. I use they, them pronouns. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I love makeup and horror and my animals and nerdy stuff and art and knitting and all of that fun stuff and lots of other things that you're going to see on this channel. So if you like any of that, you should probably stick around. It's going to be a really fun time. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my Pan That palette. My Pan That palette, I have attempted this once before, several years ago, with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette, and well, it didn't go as anticipated, in that I got freaking exhausted from it. I think I was in a very different mindset that year than I am this year. I feel like that was when I was in an era of my life where I was still very consumeristic. I still wanted all of the fun new things, but I also wanted to finish up what I had. Whereas now I'm older, I'm more mature, I'm 27, I'm not gonna say less of an interest in makeup, but more of an interest in the artistry of the makeup versus the wanting all of the new stuff of makeup. There's still some new things that I want, don't get me wrong, and I'm not gonna go on a no-buy year. I've already done that when I was broke as a joke because of extenuating circumstances in my life, don't get me wrong there. But I also am very much in the mindset of I really enjoy what is in my collection and I want to use what I have. And I have been noticing myself using this palette and gravitating towards it a lot more than some of my other newer palettes in my collection, and also realizing that this palette is probably about 6-7 years old at this point. That means that it should probably be towards the end of its life. So anyway, this is the introduction to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. That's what I'm using in this look today. You can already tell I have gotten a good amount of use out of this palette, especially the shade New Wave here that has gotten some lovely pan, and I want to see that in every shade in this palette. So a couple of reasons that I decided to pick this. One, I've been gravitating towards it naturally anyway, just kind of wanting to pick back up old palettes and re-explore my collection. This one has been coming up a lot recently. Two, it goes really, really well with a lot of the things in my wardrobe. And as I'm sort of curating my own style and wanting to make sure that everything I have in my wardrobe is something that I love and use, same with my makeup, I think this is a good opportunity to sort of incorporate that. I also think that a lot of these shades I can use well with other palettes. I think one of the big mistakes that I had sort of made in my previous Pan That palette was that I felt like when I used it, I could only use shades from the palette. That is kind of how my brain categorizes things a little bit, but I'm feeling a bit freer to use this in conjunction with other palettes, with other singles, because like you can see, there are only 3 shimmers in this whole palette, and you'll know I do love a good shimmer. I do be shimming. I think that this is a very good choice. I want to see that little bit of pan that I got in New Wave in all of these shades. So my plan is to use this as much as possible, not neglect the whole rest of my collection, but to just use it as much as possible. And I'm going to see how deep I can get into some of these other shades. I'm thinking once a month I'm going to do a check-in where I show you the progress that I'm making on these shadows. I'm going to show y'all a look like I'm about to in this video, and maybe that can inspire some of y'all to reach into your own collection and kind of try the same thing. Another reason I'm picking this palette also, I don't know if y'all remember the subculture controversy of 2017, but there's like no binder in any of these matte shadows, which is why I was able to hit pan on New Wave so quickly, because I love like a mustard to like orange eyeshadow look on my day-to-day, because that's a decent portion of my wardrobe right now. Since there's a limited amount of binder in these shadows, you're gonna see some pan pretty quickly, I think, in a decent amount of these. So it is gonna require a little effort, as you're gonna see in the upcoming tutorial in this video, because there definitely needs a little help with the blending, with the color theory, etc. But I think overall I'm gonna have a really fun time with this. And yeah, I'm just gonna drop into the tutorial now because I think I kind of explained my reasoning. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes, and as y'all probably could tell from the beginning of this video, I'm gonna be focusing a lot more on the greens in this palette. So I'm going to start off with this big old fluffy brush. This is the e.l.f. and J. Kissa J3 brush. This brush doesn't exist anymore. I'm pretty certain J. Kissa doesn't even do makeup on YouTube anymore, which, like, good for her journey, whatever she wants. This is more an indicator of how old this brush is. Anyway, I'm gonna take Dawn, and that's gonna be my transition shade. I'm gonna probably use a viewfinder a little bit for my mirror here too, because this palette is so old that the mirror is dusty, crusty, and disgusty. So, but I'm just making this my fun little transition shade here. I'm running it along my lower lash line as well. As you can see, it kind of blends into my skin pretty well. And I'm not a big, like, oh my god, you need a transition shade type of person, but with this palette, you definitely kind of do. So now I'm gonna take this slightly smaller brush here, and I'm gonna go in with Destiny and sort of do a little bit of a halo-ish type of situation. Essentially, I'm gonna pack it on the outer and inner corner. And it's very pigmented, as are all the shades in this palette. Gonna have to do some serious blending there, but you really don't need a whole lot. And I'm just leaving the center of my lid blank. And I'm just gonna go back with that last brush and do a little bit of work around the edges there to blend everything out. That's like kind of blended-ish. This palette's hard to do that with. And I'm gonna take more of Destiny along my lower lash line. And as you can see, this one accidentally got a lot more than this one, so I'm going to overcorrect on this side. There we go, that's more even. I'm gonna tap a little bit more on the outer and inner corner. Not high enough to where I'm gonna need to blend it more, but just enough to make the intensity sort of match. And my eyes are watering a little bit because I got a little bit of shadow in my eye. So once again, just blending the edges here with the first brush that I used. Next, I'm gonna use my NYX glitter primer, and I'm gonna tap that on the center of my lids. That's going to just kind of be the main event of this sort of eye look. It's going to be very quick because I have things to do today. Today did not go as planned. You'll see that in my vlog. And then I'm just going to use my finger and take electric and put that basically everywhere that I put the glitter primer. I'm going back with that last brush that I use for the olive green shade, and I'm just taking that around the edges there to blend the shimmer, clean up any areas where I might have overdone it a little bit. But see, that looks much tighter, much cleaner, it looks pretty good. Then finally, for this eye look, I'm going to take Cube here and put that on the inner corner. Okay, that's good enough. I'm not wanting the inner corner to be like the show stealer or whatever here. But that's the base of the eye look. I'm gonna put on mascara, finish the rest of my face, and you'll have seen this look in the intro. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of it for this video. I just wanted to drop in a little intro there for this endeavor. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm gonna go get some dinner. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. I'll see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!